There's plenty more to see in the Four Corners. Just 40 minutes up the road are a couple of amazing places. This formation gave the town its name, Mexican Hat. Several dirt roads head southeast off Highway 163, and they're worth exploring. They lead to the backcountry. Back in the day, this formation was used as a navigation aid. Today, it's just one attraction of this unique area. Another dirt road leads to a small canyon cut by the San Juan River, beyond which lies an exposed fault called the Rapley Ridge. Geologists come here to decipher Earth's history. Photographers come here to capture the beauty of nearly 1,000 feet of stratified Earth bending beneath the river. Even the rock here has an interesting story. If you're into geology, you know that the loose, unconsolidated rocks seen here are remnants of the ancestral Rocky Mountains. That's right, before the current Rocky Mountains, there was another set. Hundreds of millions of years ago, the first mountains in this area were as high as the Himalaya. Over time, they eroded away, and the debris covered this area. Eventually, the current Rockies will meet the same fate. A couple of hours spent here are spent well. An even better place to see what's left of the long-gone mountains is marked by a small sign reading Goosenecks State Park. This is one of the world's finest examples of an entrenched meander. It's rare for a river to make one horseshoe bend, but from this spot, 3 are visible. The San Juan River cuts through just over 1,000 feet of rubble left by the original Rockies. We used a radio control copter with a GoPro camera just to try to get it all in one shot. And even with a fisheye lens, it was just too big. The best way to see them is on a raft. An outfitter in the town of Mexican Hat will drop you off upstream and you'll travel through these canyons. There's little white water, depending on the season, but you can camp on the riverbank. The potential for great photography is obvious, but you need great light for great images. When I got here at mid-afternoon, it was cloudy and the light was bad, but I decided to wait it out. I decided to interview a retired geologist who just happened to be there. The lecture was interrupted when some dark clouds rolled in. A few drops of rain started to fall, but the sun was still lighting the top of the canyons. I knew what that meant. Something good was about to happen. I just didn't know where it would be. One of the cameras caught a piece of it as the rainbow appeared. It only lasted for a few minutes, and I had to scramble to get some nice video and stills. This is one of those moments when all the hardships, disappointments, bad weather, not to mention the expense of travel, make all the effort worthwhile. But it wasn't easy. In this case, the video camera was locked down taking a time-lapse when the rainbow appeared. I took a few shots with a still camera and then stitched them together into a panorama. This was taken on the second to the last day of an 8-day shoot. We drove over 3,300 miles, and this was only the second sellable image I came home with. Eventually, I switched the camera to video mode and got this nice video too. You can stay here. There's a paved parking area and a flat dirt area where RVs and tenters can stay for no charge. There's no running water, but there are nice pit toilets. You're actually allowed to pitch a tent anywhere you like. If you're fit enough, you can even scramble your gear down a steep trail to camp on a small plateau 100 or so feet below the viewpoint. Many people talk about getting in touch with nature. The folks down there figured out a way to do it. While Monument Valley is the main draw to this area, those willing to explore will be rewarded. A further 45 miles up the road is Natural Bridges National Monument. It was sleeting when I was there, so I didn't venture on the trails. On the way, you can travel through the Valley of the Gods. It's a smaller scale version of Monument Valley. Then you'll climb 1,000 feet up the Moki Dugway to the top of Cedar Mesa. Now it's time to start our next leg of the journey. From the Goosenecks, it's only about 120 miles to the outdoor lovers' mecca of Moab. In the next section, we'll tour Arches and Canyonlands National Parks, as well as some lesser-known gems. To see more video on the incredible sights of Utah, and also Glacier National Park in Montana, check out my YouTube channel. It's called Triumph Driver. To see and purchase great images of the West, go to my website, SynergyMedia.com.